Hello there, Gia.
Hi, Keisha. I
Hi.
um I wanted to tell everybody that the thing I've been a little worried about lately, I think
Yeah.
it's starting to happen. I I went
Uh-huh.
to the grocery store today, the one where I've been scoring the best watermelons for the lowest price.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Do you
And
want to
usually,
give them
huh?
do you want to like identify that store?
It's a Walmart.
Okay.
It's a Walmart, but it's one of those Walmarts that's
Like
just a
the
grocery
soup.
store.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you have those in your area, but they have those here, and they're just like a
Uh-huh.
regular grocery store.
Yeah,
And it doesn't
interesting.
have all the other crap. But anyway,
Okay.
um, so I go in, and it's been right on the right. There's these three huge cardboard bins filled with
Yeah.
watermelons, and that's how it's
Yeah.
been all summer. And I've taken to buying two at once to have a
Uh-huh.
backup.
A
And
a backup in case the first one isn't good.
no, just so I don't have a day where I'm like, oh, I
Uh,
can't get to the store. I don't want
sure,
to
sure.
be without watermelon. And
Uh-huh.
today I went in and I'm like, oh, good, the three cardboard bins are still there. And I go up to them and I look in, and and can you even guess what's inside them? It's not watermelon.
Uh, what would have taken the place of watermelon?
Well,
Pumpkins. Pumpkins.
yes, filled with
Uh,
pumpkins. I was like, oh
oh,
no.
Gia. I think we're
But
all devastated for you.
yeah, but before I like completely lost it and started crying, I looked around and there was like a little
We'll go back
there
to
was
that.
an area that had four smallish watermelons, and I
Uh-huh.
started putting them all in my cart, and then I was like, well, what? There might be somebody else that's like having the same problem that you are. So I left one. I left the one. So I took three watermelon.
Wow. That's touching. It's beautiful. I think all the time you're beating yourself up, you need to remember this side of yourself, which is lovely.
It's just,
It was so hard to get through that.
yeah, I'm sure that was hard on you. But anyway, I'm just telling you, people, if you love watermelon, you better get out there and get you one, because I think this is it. I think this is it. And I don't know when the season starts up again. Not really.
Uh-huh.
That's not related to General Hospital, but I thought about it because I ate a large amount of watermelon during General Hospital today.
Uh-huh. There's there's so much to unpack there.
Okay, now we can talk about General Hospital.
Well, while we're uh, uh opening
Off
up,
off topic.
yeah,
Way off topic.
couple of pieces of business I would like to take care of.
Okay. All right.
Okay. The first is, I guess, an admission that you might have been right.
Okay.
Yeah.
About?
Well, Chia, this is going to be hard.
Oh no.
Um,
God.
now that I've painted most of the walls in the living
Oh,
room, I
the
do
pink.
feel like I'm inside a vagina. So I don't know what to
So it's
do.
back to the store with the, well, could
Well,
accent colors do something to make it
that's the hope, Gia, or
slightly
else
less
get
vaginal?
comfortable feeling like I'm inside a vagina. Maybe that I don't know if that's
I don't know. I mean,
possible.
that happens for some people. Sure. I mean,
So anyway, you were right, I think,
okay. All
this
right.
time.
Thanks.
Second, I finally was able to watch an episode of Rizzoli and Isles,
Oh,
which
okay.
which I did enjoy quite a bit, and I
It's
can
got some
y-
appeal for sure.
it does. I would watch it again, and when I was introduced to Isles, I thought, okay,
All
attractive,
right. She's
stylish.
hot.
She's a
Yeah.
doctor. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
why Gia thought I was like Isles.
Right. The
And
brainy one.
Rizzoli and
Yeah.
you, I don't
And
know.
You don't think I'd be Rizzoli, the kind of tough talking, get her done cop gal? No?
Well, to be honest, I think the only way we would seem at all similar to Rizzoli and Isles is if they were men. So, but
Uh,
anyway, I did watch. Oh, and
okay.
I read your the article you posted on
Well, you really just
Tana.
got after it today.
Well,
Thank you.
I don't want to let you down. I don't want you to think I'm not
Oh, no,
listening to you.
no.
And that was I like the way he writes. I liked a lot of points he
Yeah,
made.
what is it called? Alan's soapbox. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
he
Like right
he
off
does
the
a nice
bat, he
job.
said something about like if you're 60 years old and you can't decide between two people or something, you're just an asshole. And I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
yeah, he's right.
He doesn't mince words. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was enjoyable. Thank you for
Okay.
sharing that.
Well, thanks
Okay.
for reading up on that.
You're welcome, Gia. And thank you everybody for bearing with us as we
As we
bore our
get through our
souls.
personal stuff, yeah.
We've got a lot of baggage and
Yeah.
that's just the
Well, and
tip
I
of the
guess we can
iceberg,
talk about
really.
our couple of episodes, but I feel like it wasn't, I don't know. They weren't, neither one was all that, what do we have? Yeah, Friday and Monday. Neither one
Yeah.
was all that pleasurable, I didn't think, or
They weren't very pleasurable, were they? There was a lot of sort of anguish, right?
yeah, a lot of anguish and, I don't know. Did we have progress? Well, once again, I feel like I think you said, like, why do we have to have Rick shoved down our throats every
Uh,
single scene? And I feel like that's
uh,
happening. Like, how long is he staying?
and yeah, I don't know, but it's bad. I think it's just not fair. I don't think.
Well, it occurred to me that maybe he did something to Scotty. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
where is
interesting.
Scotty?
Yeah, that's a very good possibility, Gia. I think you might be right because that would have given him like the way in.
Yeah. And he's just worming his way into every single storyline. Driving me
What a
crazy.
bastard. What a bastard. Yeah. Um, yeah, you can tell he's going to take down Alexis and
Yeah.
Christina. And I'm going to give Alexis the award of the week so far. It's Monday. But I feel like she's doing a really good job of showing how devastated and torn she is.
Yeah, yeah. And one of our listeners point said something about that too. I don't know if you caught up on all the post comments, but she said
Oh, I'm
something
sorry. I
about
didn't get caught up on everything. I'm sorry,
that's all right.
everybody.
But she pointed out also, and I think you said that too, that seeing Alexis in this sort of heightened state of
Yeah.
stress is sort of when she's
Mhm.
at her best, really. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, her anguish is like palpable. Like, I mean, it's just
Exactly.
I the fact that she hasn't taken a drink yet is kind of amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
And
everybody was worried about her law license thing and her taking a break. It's like
I
this is
know, and now
way worse,
they're
way
totally,
worse.
yeah, right, right. Yeah, they've put her through the ringer.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think she's been marvelous, and in a
she's been
way,
bringing it. Yeah, sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, I was just gonna say that I feel like in some ways she's made Christina and Molly look better. Sort of
You mean
character wise.
the
I think.
characters? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and sort of like given some meat or depth to that whole story because we were tired of it, you
Yeah, we
know?
all want the story to go away, and I still wouldn't
Yeah,
be like
yeah,
crying if it just suddenly disappeared. But
yeah. But it feels like
it's
Alexis is going to be sort of the ultimate victim of all of that.
yes, she really is. She's getting torn apart by this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and her children are kind of not caring about that. It doesn't seem
yeah.
Like Molly was just twisting the knife today. She had like
She
there was
was.
no grace given to. I don't know if she should be giving grace to Christina
Yeah, I don't.
because she
I don't
has a
know.
lot of valid points. A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
her gripes with Christina aren't imaginary, but
Right.
she could have some grace towards her mother for the position her mother is in, and
Yeah,
she was just like being really really mean to her, to like saying things that would just go straight into her heart, and like,
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
was rough. And what is she? She's the youngest. Is that part of the youngest profile? I don't think I ever did that.
No, I don't think so. Well,
I was a beloved
no.
character in my family, you know.
In fact, the whole family revolved around you because you were so charming and delightful.
Exactly. Um,
Yeah. You
we
were a
did have
sparkle
a
pony.
Yeah, well, see, we just had the three, and so we did have the
Mhm.
classic like first child, middle
Yeah,
child,
yeah.
and baby. And I was a classic baby and the only
Mhm.
girl, and
Mhm. Yeah.
we did have a little bit of the sort of histrionics of the middle
Mhm.
child needing
Mhm.
attention and the oldest
Mhm.
child wanting to disown us all. That kind of
Yeah.
trying to claim he wasn't part of the family, you know.
Please tell me I'm adopted.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I just thought I felt for Alexis.
Yeah.
It was like,
Mhm.
wow, wowza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
the other character I think who's been bringing it a lot lately is Diane.
Mhm. Yeah.
She's had some great lines and some great facial expressions, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when actors, I think, understand the importance of the facial expression, and
yeah,
have the ability to use that.
yeah. Like Jason does quite a facial expression, like that sort of pained look he gets.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Although, and as much as I love that character, it is baffling, isn't it, that he's just back, he just fell
yeah,
right back
business
into
as
place.
usual.
I don't
Yeah,
understand really if I don't know. I thought he was at some sort of fork in the road, but it
right. But he
apparently
doesn't.
not.
Yeah, he's just fallen back into it, and it's
Yeah.
too comfortable. Um,
And
and in the
who
meantime,
hasn't
I don't know, Sonny's getting more and more tarnished, I think, to in
I
my
that's a
mind.
good yeah, that's an excellent word for it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're on fire today, Gia.
Ooh,
Um,
must
but
be all that vegetarian diet stuff I'm doing right now.
yeah, yeah, maybe that's making you sharper while the Crestor is making you funnier.
It might be all of that, the lower fat, so it's like
Uh,
less sluggish stuff in my veins.
Yeah, more like just nice clean blood going through
Just
your
clean
noggin,
blood.
like
I'll
working
pass
its
out.
way around the worm and then
Yeah, like
back
take
down the
me
other side.
around the world like the bottle of tequila. Speaking of Jason and a scene he was in today that my brain was having trouble with.
I
Um,
was gonna bring this up too. Go ahead.
oh, maybe you're concerned about the same point. So he's got a vat of acid in. Is
I
this like in
know.
the coffee warehouse or something?
Yeah, is that normal for
I don't think
coffee?
it's OSHA approved. And here's the conundrum. Here's the puzzle. So it's just
Uh-huh.
like a metal barrel.
Yeah,
So
that somehow
how
dissolves
is the
metal.
acid? Yeah.
Huh. Well, yeah.
So you see what I'm getting at here? Like
Yeah, yeah.
how is the acid being contained in the metal barrel, and it burns the metal gun, it dissolves the metal
Right,
gun, but and yet
right.
not the metal barrel itself.
All
And
good
this
points,
is
Gia.
kind of stuff that
Yeah, this will
takes me
hang us
out of the
up.
story a little bit
Yeah,
too much.
yeah.
And I
Mhm.
don't know
And
what kind of barrel you're supposed to keep your vats of acid in, like
well,
what sort of.
yeah, we should know that.
Yeah, but I just feel
Mhm.
like shouldn't that be locked away somewhere? I mean, there might be children there at some point. I don't know. Do you
Wow.
need a full barrel, or couldn't you? I guess maybe
Gosh.
for bodies,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you know.
uh-huh, I do,
Well, they're
I
supposed to
do.
be mobsters,
I
right?
know, sure, sure, yes, they are mobsters. Mobsters will dissolve things.
Yep.
Um, well, yeah, and also I thought it's a little silly. Well, it's a lot of things were silly in that sort of, sequence. But just to even be doing that bit of business at the warehouse seemed sort of like borrowing trouble, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
eh,
yeah.
they could easily sort of intercept the barrel before the gun is completely dissolved, if that's really what happens in there. Um, but yeah, I know I'm not sure why they have to be like take such shortcuts, you know, because these guys are pros, and I just don't imagine that this is how they're getting rid of guns, you know, generally.
Yeah, or maybe that they'd have another guy that keeps acid in his house or something, like
I
I
like
don't
that
know,
one.
like
I like that one a lot.
something
That would be a
something
great
that's
way to introduce another
a
contest winner.
new, yeah, right. Speaking of, how do you like the bad guy at the hospital that was gonna
Oh God,
kill
yeah,
John
he's
Doe?
totally like central casting, isn't he?
Yeah, I think would he be considered a day player? We were talking about the day player thing.
Oh
Like, so
no.
he just gets picked up. And they go like, you, and you, come with me, and like,
Did he
the-
have any lines?
yeah, he said something kind of foul mouthed to Jordan.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Did he
Yeah.
tell her to
Screw
fuck
you.
off?
Did he
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna
fuck
say
off?
he didn't
He
tell her
said
to fuck
fuck.
off. Did he? That's right, it's daytime TV. But he said screw you, which was kind
Yeah.
of odd.
Yeah, that wasn't sort of something you usually hear in the hospital.
Right. And I mean, I think Jordan probably is strong and she's very tall, but I don't see that scene where she took him down in the hallway is like really happening. The guy had some heft,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
wasn't she in heels?
She was in heels, but maybe a kitten heel.
Sometimes I feel like I don't know you. What the hell is a kitten heel?
It's just a heel, but it's they're playful and
That's not helping. Who is this? What have you done with Gia?
it's like a low little pointy heel. It's
Okay.
still pointy, it's not chunky, but it's
Uh-huh.
low. It like you might see it on a mule.
Okay. You're talking about like a shoe, a mule shoe?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I
Showing
like
us.
shoes. I can't pull off these looks.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
dogs are so tired lately. Man, I can't.
And if you say something like that, you got no business wearing a kitten heel.
I know. My car almost pulled itself into the Skechers today. Like that's like classic old person. I was like, I need some of them slip-ons.
When I
Where
see
you
those
have to bend
commercials, I'm
over
like, what do they think we are?
for people that are old that are tired of bending over for the man. But
It doesn't. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Think did you maybe have a bad watermelon today? Or
it
was it
might have been. It was salty.
was
Anyway,
it
I just thought that wasn't very believable to
No,
me.
I agree, Gia. I agree.
And
Yeah.
have you thought any more about Jordan's weird obsession with this guy and what we're supposed to take from that?
Well, yeah, it is bordering on an obsession at this point because she's
Yeah.
neglecting her duties, I think, as whatever her job is. Deputy mayor? Is she still deputy
Yeah,
mayor?
something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And isn't she supposed to be heading up the Esplanade project?
I haven't heard a thing about the Esplanade in ages, have we? Because
Could you say that one more time?
Esplanade,
Yeah,
um,
it's hard, isn't it?
it is a little hard. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Well,
No.
Drew's been busy getting busy, so he's not
Yeah.
thinking of. He's just thinking about the Esplanade in his pants.
Yeah.
That's all Willow's thinking about too.
Yeah. Bless her heart, she's gonna be doomed. It's
I know. I
tough
keep
being a
I
lying,
keep
duplicitous
flashing
whore.
back to that nightmare she had where Michael turned into Drew in bed.
Oh,
Like, oh
yeah.
God, I would have screamed too.
It would have put me off men for good, I
And then
think.
he would have screamed, and we all would have screamed. It would have been scary all the way around.
would have been a much better scene. It's too bad they don't consult with us, or at least just have us on speakerphone or something, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, speakerphone. Anyway, I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, the bad
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, he seemed like
Yeah.
a contest winner or something, but he's had a couple
Yeah.
days already
Yeah,
lurking
he
around.
has. He has. So hopefully just he's gone now, I think, right? We won't have
Um,
to deal with him again.
we haven't talked about it's not stunt casting, but is it
Mm,
legacy casting? I can't remember, but Holly, the return of
oh,
Holly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did that have
And
a name in that article? It was like bringing back.
you know, it might have.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah, we talked about her last time a bit because it seems like they haven't tried to be very original with her character at this point, you know. Same old, same old.
Yeah.
Although she does seem to be leaning into being, you know, sort of a con artist, right? That's all she's interested in
Right,
is
right.
the
Yeah, she's
money.
gonna she's gonna cut Lucky in, and yeah, I have such an aversion to that character. I'm I believe that you have told me she was beloved in her
Beloved.
earlier.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't see
Yeah.
it.
No, they've turned her, yeah, they've it's weird. I mean, even though she's re-entered this storyline sort of the same way she did last time as a con artist, but she seems like that's all she is now, you know.
Yeah.
And originally I don't remember her at all being that way, and then she sort of slowly evolved into like half good, half bad, and
Was
now
she
she's
just kind
just
of a playful minx, like in a kitten heel?
Have you been watching cat videos all day?
I've seen a few, but
I don't remember. I think of her as like sort of a loyal person, you know, like loyal to the
yeah.
people that she cared about. So I don't know what's going to become of her, but yeah, they seem to be bringing her back in a big way, I guess.
I cannot take the batting of the eyelashes, the
Yeah,
big
yeah,
wide eyed like
uh-huh.
a Betty Boop kind of look or something. I don't know if that's Betty Boop, but
Yeah, she's not really like a real person, is she?
yeah, and the mincing way she speaks, and I can't
Uh-huh.
just
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
I can't take
Uh-huh.
it. And I
Well,
did find
that's
Lucky's response to her a little, his exasperation with her was kind of funny.
yeah, I
Uh,
liked Lucky more today. He was doing
yeah,
less of the sort of posing, you know.
yeah, but it's tired the stretching out of this storyline with that bad guy.
Yeah,
Who I don't
right.
think is a hottie. Do you think he's a hottie? I heard saw a
Really?
few things online about thinking he was a hottie as well, and I'm like, not seeing
No.
that.
No,
Uh,
I wasn't either, Gia. No.
no feelings in the pants there.
Not in the pants, nope.
But anyway, they
Although
need to
I
go ahead
have
and move.
spent a lot of time inside a vagina, so I don't know if
your
my
your
feelings
feelings
can be
may be
trusted.
shifting soon. Yeah, you're being groomed for the other team now. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not. Of course
But
not.
I'm liking having Lucky back, but I want to move the storyline along. I feel like
Yeah. Mhm.
we've wallowed in this little
Mhm.
scenario long enough.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if, while we're over there, if Laura and Kevin are on their way, are they going to create some new scene or set for them? And is it going to look very, very similar to all the other exotic countries
Yeah,
they've
where
been to?
where are we supposed to be?
In, I thought in Africa, or isn't
Somewhere
that
in
where?
somewhere in Africa, but we had a specific area, and
Uh,
I can't think of the name. Began with a
yeah.
T, I think. But anyway,
Okay. Yeah. But
yeah,
that
yeah,
seems
we'll probably
also
have another.
ridiculous.
There'll be some hijinks, I'm sure.
Yeah. Will their paths cross? Like Lucky, Holly, Laura, Kevin, you think?
Oh, probably. Yeah, we'll probably
Yeah.
have a big. And were they rivals, Holly and Laura, back in the day? Because they were both with Luke, right?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I don't remember. Hmm. I don't know. But
What
it
good
seems
are
like a
you?
very dangerous place for like Laura and Kevin, you know.
Um, Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like this set of grandparents is going to head out and
I'm surprised they didn't
I
go geese.
insulted you a few minutes ago and you didn't even hear me, so I'll say it
Oh, what
again.
did
I said, "What good are you?" Because you don't remember. You've been watching this show since you were like 8 or something. But
hadn't we established previously, like even last week,
in
that I can't
previous
remember
episodes.
anything?
Yeah. Um. Anyway, yeah. So that'll be mildly amusing. Some hijinks there, busting Lucky out.
Mhm, mhm, yeah.
And I'm sure even though he's not even there, Drew will probably take credit for saving Lucky's life.
That would be that would be so funny if that
He'll
just
put his
became
ginormous hand over his heart and be like, "No, no, I'm not a hero." You know,
and they'd be like, "You're not." He's like, "Please, please stop."
please, I'm still so sad about McConkey.
Oh, that
McConkey.
reminds me. I was driving into New Hampshire the other day, and there was a
Was
political
there a
sign on the
McConkey running for
yeah,
something? Oh my
McConkey gets
gosh, really?
McConkey gets the job done, and I was like, "Wait a minute, if I traveled back
Oh,
in time?"
you should have
I
stopped
am
and taken a
Portia.
picture.
I
That would have
would
been great.
have, I would have, but it wasn't really a good place to stop. But
Oh,
I did
that's
a
funny.
double take, yeah.
McConkey.
And then I thought
Um,
maybe that person changed their name just so they would get the
get the
exposure.
GH vote. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, wouldn't it be funny if Drew, like anytime anything came up,
Yeah,
he took
just takes
credit.
credit for being a hero, and yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe he saved James. We
Oh
thought it
yeah,
was Cody, but maybe it was really
right.
Drew.
I'm sure it
Huh.
was in some way. Yeah.
In some way, yeah. But
We did have another. Speaking of new sets, you like getting new
mhm,
sets. We did have
mhm.
the gym, the
Oh yeah,
Aurora whatever. So we
right,
got to see that
right.
today with
Mhm.
the
Oh yeah, God, that was a
is
gross pairing, wasn't
ubiquitous
it?
is ubiquitous. Is that the word for
Uh-huh.
somebody who's like in
Yeah.
everything?
Or yeah, let me see. Let me give you the actual definite. I
Okay.
want to say omnipresent, but I'm not sure you.
Yeah. Okay. Not omniscient, but anyway,
No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
ubiquitous
Yeah.
Rick Lansing at the
Oh,
gym, and
yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Present, appearing, or found everywhere.
yeah,
Hmm.
even where he's
So
not wanted.
similar to omnipresent. Okay, so we're
Oh, well, look at
look
that.
at
We're both
us.
right. Jeez. Um, so we had Rick and Curtis and nobody else. I don't like. Is that gym open yet, or like what?
Yeah. Well, and then it was Rick and TJ, right?
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, Rick and TJ, both just incredibly unappealing people at this point.
Yeah, that was really sort of that was a throw up in the mouth kind of scene, I thought.
Curtis had his shirt undone to a level that
Oh, yeah, that was
I was mildly entertained by that. So
I didn't
that
know what to make of that. Uh,
um I probably he just had it undone like that and everybody's like, "You look good like that." And he's like, "Okay, I'll leave it like that." You have a really nice
yeah.
chest. Why don't you keep that button undone?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I bet you're right. I bet it was that simple.
I bet he didn't mean to have it undone or something, but
Mhm.
nobody told him because they were all just enjoying his chest, you know.
Okay, another possibility. Mhm. Do you wanna keep
Just
going?
I don't know. I was thinking it was the only thing that made that scene okay, but yeah, do you want to unpack the scene with Rick and TJ a little bit for us?
Well, no. I wanna pack it up.
Back it up
Um,
and send it on its way.
well, TJ was sort of growling something at the beginning, wasn't he? And I he was so mad at Christina. Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He should have been
And
mad at Rick because Rick almost dropped that barbell right on him.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
Like
I
Rick's
don't
not the guy to be spotting you. Is
no, no, he's
my
not.
takeaway there.
He's
Yeah.
not. That yeah, exactly. Um, but I don't know. TJ seemed like he had become maybe the voice of reason between him and
Right. Didn't
Molly,
we have a
but
scene not long ago where he was like the anger is
Yeah.
going to eat her up and blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and and
Yeah.
then he's back to. And not
Yeah.
that that's not unrealistic,
Right.
wait, did I
Right.
put too many negatives in that? Not that that's not unrealistic.
Unrealistic.
Yeah.
Or
Not
realistic,
that
you
that's
said, right?
not realistic. Wait, I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble.
Don't hurt
Not that
yourself.
that's not realistic. I think I mean to say that not that that's not realistic. It is
Right, right.
realistic. It could be realistic.
We knew you'd get there, Gia.
Sorry, you
Welcome.
have to see me like this.
Welcome back.
Anyway, you could in the grieving process, you could probably swing between all those emotions,
Ye
hour by hour, I'm
yes.
sure.
You absolutely could, that's true.
Um, but it's the sides of TJ and Molly that we're being shown right now,
Mhm.
um, are just they're not building a lot of love, I think. It's
No, it's very hard to find them sympathetic at this point.
and
Although, I mean,
again, I don't know. I mean, again, that can be realistic. People can get
yeah,
really
yeah.
unappealing in grief.
Mhm. That's true, and I kind of like, I was sort of feeling for Molly a little bit when she was sort of berating Alexis, because I thought, well, this was a loss for them. They did have this whole life planned out, that's gone.
Oh
Um
yeah, I just didn't think that Alexis had been unsupportive.
Right, right. Yeah, that's the part of it that sort
I
of
think
sours you on
what
Molly.
Molly wants is to see her not support Christina.
Right, right. I
You
think
know,
you're right. Yeah, yeah. And that's impossible.
she wants her to take sides and take her
Mhm.
side, and yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that she's asking the impossible of her mother, and she's trying to split her in half, and she is
Yeah.
splitting in half, and it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Poor Alexis. And it's I'm kind of glad they're going there because I hadn't been really feeling much for Alexis in a
Yeah,
while.
you hadn't been enjoying Alexis much, I
I
know.
hadn't been much, no. So I
But
am
yeah,
now.
we're kind of reminded of her greatness
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
this particular
Mhm.
scenario. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. And then I mean, and also Christina, I guess maybe to Molly's point or somebody's point, Christina does have Sonny in her corner always, you know.
Yeah. Right.
And I guess, to some extent Molly has Rick, but who wants Rick?
Uncle Rick. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's another part of somewhere in Molly's head thinking, that Christina's got like everybody sort of,
Yeah.
backing
Yeah.
her up.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but let's see.
Anyway, I'm trying to give Molly and TJ some leeway in my head and not just be like, I cannot
Mhm.
stand these two
Yeah, yeah,
because they are going through hell, and
right.
I've been very ugly and nasty and vengeful and said horrible things in moments of grief, in bad
Yeah,
situations, and
yeah. Well,
so
you're. Mhm,
I can see that like.
mhm,
And later you're like how why was but when you're in like heightened states of emotion,
mhm,
this
mhm.
stuff happens, and you're like later you're like, who was that, like.
Yeah. Mhm.
So maybe that will happen with
Right. Yeah.
TJ and Molly. I don't know, but
And also, when you're in those moments of grieving, or those situations that you haven't ever been through before, there's really no script. So you sort of rely on, what you think you're supposed to say sometimes or how you're supposed to act. So everything does get sort of jacked up.
yeah, yeah. You mean like you're acting like you see people act in the movies or on TV or
Yeah,
something?
kind
Like,
of.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes I think, yeah, you're supposed to be sort of, emotional and devastated and stuff.
yeah,
And I mean, and of course you are, but sometimes you don't have the words, the real words.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Um,
Um,
but
so I don't know. Hopefully we'll find our way back to those characters being likable at the
yeah,
very least. I don't
yeah.
know.
I'm afraid for TJ that's going to be tricky if Rick is going to manipulate him into like he's gonna weaponize TJ, I'm afraid, you know?
Ooh, look at you with the trendy words. Yeah, I think so. I didn't like TJ's outfit either. I felt like they weren't doing him any favors with his workout
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
Wasn't it kind of
Uh-huh.
weird? He had like weird shorts that were bagging up and the shirt. I don't know. I
I
mean,
saw there was a lot of sweat, right? A lot of
there
clinging.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Not that I look the picture when I'm doing a workout or anything, but TJ looks like a guy that really does work out, and so probably has quite a
Mhm.
lot of. Um, but of course, he's not dressing himself. But just note to
Mhm.
wardrobe. Let's put him in something more attractive.
Now we'll watch to see how long it takes for your suggestion.
Right, right. I just
Get
wonder
to
if we're
them.
gonna have everybody cycle through Curtis's new Aurora
Oh, wouldn't
gym
that be
now,
yeah, I bet you're
uh,
right. Yeah.
like
It's
like
well,
we
it's
did with the yoga
the yoga.
studio.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
didn't really know how to make good use of that space because it was just like a room and everybody carried
right,
their own
right.
mats. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, what did you think? I mean, this has been an ongoing thing, but we had a scene with Portia and Curtis today where Portia is ever more
Yeah.
obsessed with Heather.
Yes. Yes. I think you're right. And I liked Curtis's point, that why not live your life, and honestly, if it's a choice between going, out with him somewhere and sitting there waiting for test results, although she going to doctor them? Was she going to
I don't know
tamper?
what is it I don't, yeah, maybe that's why she's so
Maybe she
set
wanted
on
to
getting
sort of
them. Yeah,
get to them before
yeah,
anybody else saw them.
yeah. Um,
Because
I feel
otherwise,
like,
she's right. It could have waited.
yeah, I feel like they're going to use this. We had a scene where Curtis is kind of like listening to Rick's points about defending Heather
Yeah,
and thinking
yeah.
that they're sort of reasonable. And I think we're going to
Hmm.
be seeing this drive a wedge between Curtis and
Uh-huh.
Portia
Yeah.
yet again, and
Yeah. Uh-huh.
they won't
And
be
I
calling each other babe,
no, they won't. No,
babe.
they won't. I do hope Curtis is right that his sort of take on Heather was that she has changed. you
Yeah,
know?
but the day that he spoke to her, like now they've got her kind of reverting back to
Yeah, yeah, that's true, isn't
earlier
it?
earlier
Mhm.
sort of shallow self-centered
Yeah.
behavior, which she
Yeah.
had been so introspective and thoughtful
Yeah.
in earlier
Mhm.
conversations with Curtis and with Laura,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
now they've got her seeming very selfish and self-centered, and
And manipulative again. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. You're
yeah.
right. Yeah, she got a
So
taste. She saw like an opening, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So, interesting. Yeah. But yeah, Portia's not any more likable either these days.
No, I mean, I guess it could be interesting to see somebody, just being obsessive,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
it doesn't do that character any favors.
No. No.
Yeah, because people have had a little bit of a likability issue with that character for a while, so
Mhm. Yeah.
it'd be
And
cool to see her doing something really professional, um,
mhm.
or in the mother role where she kind of shines a little bit, I
Yeah.
think.
Mhm.
Something
Mhm.
else, but
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen though.
Probably
Um
not.
And I was thinking about like people like Michael, who's been jerked into every aspect of this this killing of Jagger.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he could be sort of on the hook for a lot of parts of that, lying to just about everybody to protect other people.
Yeah, and imagine his stress level when he finds out what Willow's up to, on
Oh boy,
top
that
of
poor
all this.
fella.
He's
Yeah.
gonna need some serious counseling.
Yes, he is. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's
Oh, speaking of
yeah.
Michael, that side of the family, we
Mhm.
we haven't talked about the
Oh, right,
scene
right.
between Carly and Josh
Joss.
from Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was quite intense.
yeah. So what do you think there?
Um, hmm. Well, I would understand Joss's point of view if I understood better her hatred of Sonny.
Hmm.
It seems like that the level of intensity of those feelings sort of goes up and down, and I thought it had been sort of going down for a while. She was more on his side at least than Ava's, and
Yeah, she had kind of cooled off a little bit. It did seem like
yeah,
anyway. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. What did you think?
Well, I thought she was, what is the word? Maybe the phrase on point. Or
Yeah.
did you already use that?
No, I
Did you
didn't.
already
No,
say
I
that?
didn't. I
Um,
know.
is that why it seemed so good? She's on point. I thought she um I thought she was articulate with her
Yes.
mother
Yes, she was.
and forceful, and I thought
Mhm.
once again, here's a mother having her heart torn apart by her child.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Um
Mhm.
I like their relationship. I saw
Yeah.
comments online about, Joss needs to zip it. She's spoiled and entitled, and she shouldn't be speaking
Oh.
to her mother that way. And
Oh,
I kind of
everybody,
thought I
yeah.
kind of
Sorry.
thought it's sort of cool that they have a relationship where they can speak to each other like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in a
Um,
lot of ways, they seem like equals.
yeah, I thought they have a more adult relationship.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and it's kind of cool to think about a mother-daughter relationship that gets to that point.
Yeah.
Um, where you could tell, and maybe it's also a little different, like I would have never spoken to my mother about her problems with my father or whatever, but these
Right.
people all have so many different partners. They're talking about men, you know
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's sort of different because Sonny wasn't
Right. Right.
Joss's biological
Yeah.
father, and so
Uh-huh.
um but I don't know. In my dream world, it's like that would have been cool if my mother and I had been able to speak that
Yeah.
freely about our adult lives.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. I sort of regret that I never really had a lot to share with my mom.
Well, you did. You guys had like parallel universes going on with the dogs and everything, didn't you? Have like, weren't you sharing all of that?
That she had dogs and I had dogs?
Yeah, yeah, that you were
Well,
both obsessed with dogs.
I think for a long
With
time I
my
just had
obsession. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, sorry.
she had a lot of dogs when I had maybe one dog, and then when I started to have more than one dog, she had sort of reduced her level of dogs down
Her
to one or
herd.
two. So yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't quite overlap. In fact,
yeah.
the result of that was that my brothers all said, "Oh, you're just like mom," and they weren't.
Right,
It wasn't
right.
a
Yeah.
compliment from them, you
That's all
know.
right. I got the "you're just like dad" from my brothers. And usually that was like the pinnacle of some argument. So it was never like it's not a compliment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
But yeah, I agree that I do like the relationship, and I don't think Joss was really. It wasn't like she was just lashing out, just to be hurtful necessarily. I think she was truly concerned that her mom
yeah,
was
yeah,
had made a big mistake.
yeah. I think it was out of caring for her, and also,
Yeah.
Carly's actions, just like you were saying about Michael.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
ramifications of this for
Yeah.
everybody connected, the ripple effect.
Yeah.
Um, it
Mhm.
does affect everybody else in the family. It's not just. Um,
Right.
and I know they'll go back to the old saw, like, well, I want
Mhm.
Donna to have her father. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. And
even if
right.
he's a cold-blooded murderer, like,
Right. Yeah. And
I don't know.
I know that's a good point, and I thought it was good writing in there when Joss said, this keeps happening, one of these times I am going to lose you, and what if it's this time?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a very articulate argument, and
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't see it as like she shouldn't speak to her mother that way.
No.
Just because they're both adults now. But yeah, I saw it coming out of like care for
Yeah.
her for her
Yeah.
mother, and her mother being pulled into Sonny's world yet again.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. And you could see how Carly was distraught too to have this, you know, it's not quite a misunderstanding, because
Yeah,
Jocelyn does understand, you
she can't
know,
reveal what really went on.
although
Although
Joss
Joss was
seemed to
pretty
figure it
quick
out.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, she did figure it out. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I just go back to like how selfish of Sonny to involve his
Yeah.
supposed loved ones to this
Yeah.
degree without. I mean, he's being grateful, but he's not really. Uh, uh, he should be trying to protect them from what he's done,
Yeah.
rather
And
than
he
pull him into it. And
yeah, and he should have maybe found a way that, would have prevented this from happening, from so many people that are in his world from getting involved, like if he had picked a different place to meet Jagger, rather than
right,
the
right.
Quartermains or something, there are plenty of ways he could have
Yeah, it
spared
was all really
everybody.
stupid. It seems
Yeah.
like if it was planned,
Right.
then it was
Right.
extremely stupid. Like you're pointing out, like why would you pick there?
Yeah.
But they didn't seem to. It didn't seem to be like a heat of the moment kind of thing. It seemed more
Mhm.
like he brought the gun and he meant to do it and he
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was really stupid on all those fronts.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
unless, like you said, that if he did all of this because it would look so stupid for him to do it, himself.
oh,
And,
as a cover up, yeah,
it just makes it look like it's highly unlikely that he would
yeah,
have
like
done
he would have
something
done
so
something that
reckless,
stupid, yeah.
you know.
Where he should have done it was in the coffee warehouse right next to that vat of acid. And he should have called Jason and given him a heads up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna have a little job for you in about a half hour."
Fill
You
the
know,
barrel.
still got that vat of acid in the back.
Oh, yep, exactly.
And
Wow.
how unsafe is that? Like, what if you plop something accidentally in and the acid comes back at you? Like
I mean,
occasionally
if
I
we
have
were
to
there,
spray
it
like
would
weed
happen.
killer, and I'm like all decked out like it's a hazmat kind of
Yeah.
situation, and
Uh-huh. Yep.
Jason's just plopping the gun in there willy nilly.
Willy-nilly. Yeah, well, that's stone cold for you.
I guess so. He it's like an Olympic dive, where they suck the splash down behind them,
Yes. Yes, you don't want a big splash.
right? Like I don't even know how
Mhm.
they do that. Like
I
they suck it
know.
down with their toes or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Well,
Crazy.
I guess that's why we aren't Olympic divers.
No, that wouldn't be my sport. But I think they had rugby this year, didn't they? I was thinking that could have been my sport.
Could it?
Yeah, I'm Rizzoli. I could play rugby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of
What's
course
funny
you
is
are.
like
Of course you are.
I've picked out two really hot chicks to model ourselves after, and that's where we got our names Gia and Keisha in the first place,
Right,
was from
right.
two really
2
hot chicks on General
beautiful
Hospital.
young women, yeah, that
Yeah, look nothing like either of us.
have
And the funny part is, we've been calling each other that for
Yeah.
years. Like
Years,
it
yeah.
wasn't for this podcast. We just started
No,
calling each other
no,
that.
I know. I almost never call you by your real name, do I?
I don't think so.
What is it again?
I think I used to call you Yeebs for a while too, because your
Yeah,
brothers did or
yeah,
something.
uh-huh. Yeah, I have a lot of nicknames with my brothers.
Yeah, I'm sure. Me too.
Yeah,
Not all good.
I know.
Peter Frampton.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with
Uh,
that. He's a very
no,
talented man.
he's a lovely man.
Yes, yes, he is.
I hear that he's considered to be a pretty good guitar player.
I've heard that too. Oh Oh gosh, gee, you've cheered me up so much. Oh.
Oh, well, you're welcome. That's no biggie. It's what I do. Um, what else
Oh,
did we have? We had our new cop on the job there, and
Dex.
his yeah, Dex in his cute little uniform. It's man, there's something about the cop uniform. I was thinking about that today because we were seeing quite a few cops in
Mhm,
their little uniforms. It's just they're
mhm.
not a sexy look because he's a good
No.
looking guy and he
Yeah.
looks like an idiot in that uniform, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, and I think also it's
He looks like
weird
he's
that
12.
and he seems like he's sorta acting like he's 12. He used to be kind of a badass guy, right? Who'd been out there in the
Yeah,
world doing shit,
yeah.
that was dangerous, working for
Well,
Sonny, and now he's like a little schoolboy.
it was a little dangerous going to Sonny's and being like all in his face like he was. That was
I know, I guess he feels like
kind
he's
of
sorta
stupid. Yeah.
bulletproof with Joss, or
But I don't know.
whatever the deal.
I was trying to redo the cop uniform in my head to like, how could they
Oh.
do so? I think part of the problem is with the pockets. They kind of have blousey
Uh-huh,
pockets.
uh-huh. I thought you were gonna say, on Reno 911, the lieutenant
Yeah.
whose shorts are, like, right up his ass. I
Oh, is
thought
he?
maybe you would like a look like
What's his
that.
name? Dangle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, maybe the shorts thing if you're in Florida, because you can
Yeah.
like people complain about the shorts thing here. Like, if you're in a
Mhm.
band, you should play in shorts. Like, you've never been in Florida; it's
Yeah,
freaking hot. You're gonna wear
yeah,
shorts. But
right.
no, I was really more thinking of the shirt. Like, I would get rid of
Mhm.
that blousey pocket. You
Uh-huh,
know, if you have
uh-huh.
to have a pocket, maybe just get rid of the
Yeah,
blousiness of it. And then they've got the
okay.
little like, what do you call it? Epaulet,
Epaulets
epaulet,
on the
epaulet.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do they need those?
I don't think so. I would think they'd be almost a hazard unless they can sorta hook
Right.
something to
Yeah,
them,
you could
but
grab somebody with
yeah,
those.
seems like
Um,
yeah.
so maybe a more streamlined shirt.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But I just think like, yeah, he used to be kind of cool, and every time I see him, I
Mhm.
kind of feel like snickering a little bit because he
Yeah.
looks so silly. Like I remember one of my brothers was in ROTC when we
Yeah.
were in high
Uh-huh.
school, and
Uh-huh.
they had to wear their uniforms one day a week
Uh-huh.
or something
Yeah.
like that. Oh
Yeah.
my God, we made endless fun
Yeah,
of him on those
they were
days.
sorta similar,
Yeah.
weren't they? Did they have, like, a light blue, I wanna say
Yeah,
blouse?
yeah, something,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And my poor brother, we were so mean to him, but
Uh,
yeah, they looked downright foolish. Um,
uh-huh.
so I don't know, but yeah, we need to bring the sexy back to the uniforms, or
Okay.
make him pretty soon he'll be in plain clothes, I'm sure. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
he'll be
Maybe,
he'll be
yeah.
hanging
A
with
detective
Dante
or s
and
yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can look forward to that day, I guess.
And then he'll look cool because he'll get to wear, just a nice button
Mhm.
down and whatever.
Mhm. Yeah, he's just seeming very earnest and, like,
Goobery. Yeah, a little
goobery.
goobery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me, well, not really, but,
But you'd like to talk about it.
I'm not sure I would, but, we couldn't figure out who the, like, accent lady was, and I
Oh,
mean, you
yeah.
saw the comments that she's from Saturday Night Live, and I was
Yeah,
thinking, why
Sarah
is that
something,
supposed to
Sarah.
be a win for General Hospital, you know?
Well, apparently she's a huge General Hospital fan.
Did she insist on having
I
a
don't
role?
know. Yeah. Are you just saying that, like, there's probably not a lot of crossover between current
I
Saturday Night Live
I
watchers and
don't
GH
think
watchers?
so, and especially yeah, I don't think so, and, I mean, who watches Saturday Night Live anymore? I don't even think young people do
I
they?
don't know. Somebody must. I
Yeah,
don't
I feel
know.
like it might be older people, but I don't know, it just seemed like it really was a completely sorta trumped up kind of a
Well, I
thing.
hated the story.
Yeah.
I felt like it was demeaning to Lois, and
Yeah, yeah, just like it's not just, like, getting rid of her accent, it's getting rid of Lois.
Yeah, she looked like a dog that had been hit, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I just, so I think they meant for that to be a fun bit of stunt casting, but it,
Not at all. Not
but
at I
not
mean, yeah,
not so
it can't be
much.
just about, like, the casting, you know? It's
Yeah,
it
it would have been more fun to have somebody that you knew a majority of GH watchers would
yeah, I guess.
know. Possibly from, I don't know
Possi
who that would be. I mean, the Morgan Fairchild one, like, we all
Yeah,
know who that is.
yeah,
That's a little
right.
more of an effective.
Yeah, she would have been good in that role actually, but we
Yeah.
both, I think, still wish Lois would have, bucked against this whole
Right,
idea.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who would be a good example of a successful stunt cast. Who would you want to
Mm.
see just do a
Well, I
walkthrough?
know you would like to see Jason Momoa.
Oh, wouldn't he be fantastic? What could we have him be?
Well, he could have been the guy who was trying to kill the guy in the bed, maybe. Although
Oh
you
yeah,
would
a
want
bad
him
guy.
on for longer, wouldn't you? I think it would be fun if he was brought in as like a surgeon, maybe who was there for a special procedure, but then wound up staying.
Okay, all right, I'll go
Okay.
with that as well. How about just an extra in Curtis's new Aurora gym that's always there, like, working out in the
Oh,
background?
yeah, yeah. He could
Mm,
be the spokesmodel maybe for the Aurora gym.
yeah. Or, like, he could just be a guy that's there that, like, spots people now and then. Like, TJ could call him over to spot him and
Yeah.
be like, Rick could be offering to spot him and be like, Yeah, no, thanks, Dad. I'm gonna have this guy
With
spot
muscles.
me." Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I hope
yeah.
that dream comes true for you someday, Gia.
That would be fabulous, Jason Momoa. Wowie zowie. Um, he could be just another John Doe, and then all the female characters would be like trying to find out who this guy is. I just think his parents would like to know, flocking to his room. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny. I think
Like
we'd come
touching
up with
his hair while he's asleep.
I was just trying to get some DNA. I was gonna run a test.
Yeah. I would want to know if it were my
You're
child.
supposed to take hair from his head.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness gracious. Well,
yeah.
maybe he could be like the doctor who's gonna save Lulu or something, or
Yeah, yeah. I would like him to be sort of a smart, and then
he'd look
Drew
good in a
could
pair
take
of
the credit.
horn-rimmed glasses, yeah. Drew would be like, "I saved Lulu. Didn't I give Lulu
I
my
gave him a
liver?"
ride home. I gave him a ride
Yeah,
here from the airport.
yeah. I drove him by the Esplanade so he could see the progress.
Oh boy. Yeah. We have got a lot of solid gold material that we've just given
Yeah.
away,
Yeah, and nobody's probably listening at this point because they were
No,
like, "Oh
I
my god,
know.
he's
I
freaking
know.
talking about watermelon for an hour." So yeah, that would be an ideal stunt casting situation there for
For
me,
for 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 Gia. Yep. Okay.
for
Well,
sure, for
yeah.
sure.
If you were in like that Make-A-Wish Foundation, that would be your wish?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that would be good. Yeah,
And they'd
I
be
could
like,
see
"Well,
I could see you requesting like Bruce Springsteen for the nurse's ball or something like that.
well, why not?" Uh, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good idea, Gia. Did you hear his wife has blood cancer?
What?
Patty
No. Oh,
Scalfa? Yeah, I just read that today. So our hearts
something
go
that
out to Bruce and Patty.
something that can be treated, or like a
Well,
leukemia kind of thing.
it
Isn't that a
sounds
blood
like,
cancer?
yeah, you need, I think just either like the chemo or radiation maybe, and a stem cell transplant was the other option, but
Yeah.
that doesn't. So she can't, obviously tour much or because she has to be very careful about not getting infections and stuff like that.
Uh,
So
Bummer.
that's very sad.
I have a CD of hers from, I don't know, quite a few years ago, and I
Really?
really liked it actually.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, just it was a solo thing. She has a
Oh,
really
I didn't
unique.
know that.
Actually,
Yeah.
it reminded me of Oh, what's a woman? Ronnie Spector. Ronnie Spector. A little
Oh,
bit of
uh-huh.
that vibe going
Huh.
on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, really
Okay.
unusual voice. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's new information for me. I didn't know she had any solo stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what year. I might have dragged it home from when I worked at Borders, remember how we used to
Uh-huh.
get the freebies in the 3
Yeah,
mail?
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it might have
Yeah.
been that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have purchased it probably, but
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
was surprised that I liked it as much as I did.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Um, anyway, so it's fun to think about your stunt casting ideas.
Yeah, that would all right. So every now and then we'll revisit that topic. Or I may
That'd be a
anybody
good Facebook
Facebook,
topic, like
yeah, anybody who
pick,
has an idea of their dream stunt cast
yeah, and
person.
what role they could play,
Yeah, you can share that with us. We'd like that.
Yeah. You could get
Okay.
that ball rolling. You do a good job. I usually wait for you to answer people on there because you're more of a professional writer.
No, that's not true.
I'm more likely to offend somehow.
That is absolutely not true, Gia. I think you're just as capable.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
did we cover kind of everything? I'm sure we're missing big chunks of plot.
Well, I don't know. We have gone past our allotted time.
Oh crap! We need to start setting an alarm because it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
I know. It's criminal almost that the two of
criminal.
us could inflict ourselves upon the world for over an hour.
Yeah. I gotta go watch Rizzoli Niles. So.
Me too. I'm Isles. If you guys had like a landline, I would love to call and have Trent answer, and I'd say, "Can I speak to Rizzoli?"
At this point, I'm
She's
sure he's
not here.
forgotten all about
There's no Rizzoli here.
it. Maybe a cannoli, but anyway.
All
Okay,
right,
well,
yeah,
we'll wrap it up. We'll watch for a
yeah.
few more days and talk again.
Okay, Gia, you have a good night.
You too. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Goodbye.